Chelsea continue push to sign Morgan Rogers and Mark GUEHI as talks progress. While Chelsea are continuing to intensify their efforts in the transfer market as the club targets two key signings ahead of the next phase of their rebuild. According to sources close to the negotiations, Chelsea are keen on securing the services of Morgan Rogers and Mark GUEHI, with talks reported to be progressing positively. The London club sees both players as important pieces in their long-term project, and optimism is growing within Stamford Bridge that deals could be completed if negotiations continue on the current path. Chelsea's transfer strategy in recent windows has focused on recruiting young, versatile, and Premier League proven players who can immediately improve the squad while also offering long-term value. Morgan Rogers and Mark GUEHI fit this profile perfectly, which explains why the club is pushing hard to bring both players in. Chelsea's interest in Morgan Rogers. Morgan Rogers has emerged as one of the most exciting attacking midfielders in English football. Known for his physical presence, technical ability, and intelligence in the final third, Rogers has impressed many observers with his consistent performances. Chelsea's recruitment team has been monitoring him closely, believing that his profile suits the club's attacking philosophy. Rogers is valued for his versatility. He can operate as an attacking midfielder, a wide forward, or even in a more central role behind the striker. This flexibility is highly attractive to Chelsea, especially as the club looks to build a dynamic and unpredictable attacking unit. His ability to drive forward with the ball, link play between midfield and attack, and contribute goals and assists makes him a strong candidate to strengthen Chelsea's offensive options. Sources suggest that discussions between Chelsea and Rogers' representatives have been encouraging. While financial details are still being negotiated, both sides are understood to be open to reaching an agreement. Chelsea see Rogers as a player who can grow into a key figure at the club, while the player himself is reportedly intrigued by the prospect of playing for a top Premier League side, with ambitions of challenging for major trophies. Mark GUEHI, a familiar face for Chelsea. Mark GUEHI's potential return to Chelsea is another major storyline in the club's transfer plans. The central defender, who previously came through Chelsea's academy, has developed into one of the most reliable defenders in the Premier League. His leadership qualities, composure on the ball, and strong defensive awareness have made him a standout performer. Chelsea's interest in GUEHI is driven by their desire to reinforce the defensive line with a player who understands the league and the club's culture. Having spent years at Chelsea during his development, GUEHI would not need time to adapt to the environment. This familiarity is seen as a major advantage, especially as Chelsea aim to build a more stable and consistent defence. Negotiations for GUEHI are believed to be moving in a positive direction. While competition from other clubs remains a factor, Chelsea are confident that their long-standing relationship with the player could play a crucial role in convincing him to return. The club views GUEHI not just as a defensive reinforcement, but also as a future leader who could become a cornerstone of the team for years to come. Why these signings matter for Chelsea? The pursuit of Morgan Rogers and Mark GUEHI reflects Chelsea's broader vision. The club is determined to move away from short-term solutions and instead focus on building a balanced squad capable of sustained success. Both players offer qualities that Chelsea believe are essential for competing at the highest level. Rogers would add creativity, energy, and depth to the attacking department, while GUEHI would bring stability, leadership, and defensive assurance. Together, they represent a blend of youth, experience, and Premier League know-how that Chelsea value highly. Moreover, these potential signings could help address some of the inconsistencies Chelsea have faced in recent seasons. Strengthening both attack and defence in the same window would signal a clear statement of intent from the club's hierarchy and send a positive message to supporters. Talks progressing well. One of the most encouraging aspects for Chelsea fans is the report that talks are progressing well for both players. While transfer negotiations are often complex and unpredictable, the current mood around Stamford Bridge is one of cautious optimism. Club officials remain confident that agreements can be reached if discussions continue smoothly. Chelsea are aware of the importance of timing, especially in a competitive transfer market. Securing deals early would allow the players to integrate quickly and adapt to the manager's system without unnecessary pressure. This is a key reason why the club is working diligently behind the scenes to push negotiations forward. In other news, Morgan Rogers completes dream. January move to Chelsea. Chelsea Football Club sent a clear message to the Premier League during the January transfer window by completing the signing of Morgan Rogers, one of England's most exciting young attacking talents. The move, which had been quietly developing behind the scenes, became one of the most talked about transfers of the winter as the Blues continued their long-term project of building a young, dynamic squad for the future. For Morgan Rogers, the transfer marked a defining moment in his career, a reward for years of patience, hard work, and steady development. A rise built on persistence. Morgan Rogers' journey to Stamford Bridge was far from straightforward. Once seen as a raw talent with immense physical and technical ability, Rogers had to fight for recognition through loan spells, tough competitions for places, and moments of doubt. However, the January window proved that Chelsea's recruitment team had been watching closely. Rogers impressed with his versatility, operating across the front line as a winger, attacking midfielder, and even as a false nine. His combination of pace, power, close control, and intelligent movement made him a perfect fit for Chelsea's evolving tactical system. Chelsea's scouts were particularly impressed by his maturity on the ball, his ability to drive forward under pressure, and his willingness to track back defensively, qualities that aligned perfectly with the club's new identity. Why Chelsea moved in January? Chelsea's decision to act in January rather than wait until the summer was strategic. Injuries, inconsistency, and the need for fresh attacking energy pushed the club into action. While the Blues already possessed a talented squad, the coaching staff believed Rogers could offer something different: directness, unpredictability, and hunger. Negotiations progressed quickly once Chelsea made their interest concrete. Talks between the clubs remained professional, and Rogers himself made it clear that he was eager to take the next step in his career. By mid-January, the deal was finalised, with Rogers signing a long-term contract that reflects Chelsea's confidence in his future. The player's dream move. For Morgan Rogers, joining Chelsea was more than just a transfer. It was a dream fulfilled. Speaking after the announcement, he described the move as a massive moment and emphasised his desire to grow, learn, and compete at the highest level. "I've worked my whole life for an opportunity like this," Rogers said. "Chelsea is a huge club with a clear vision, and I want to be part of that journey." Sources close to the player revealed that Rogers was attracted not only by Chelsea's history, but also by the club's commitment to developing young players and giving them real opportunities on the pitch. Tactical impact at Stamford Bridge. On the pitch, Rogers brings flexibility. His ability to operate between the lines allows Chelsea to switch formations seamlessly during matches. Whether deployed on the right wing, drifting centrally, or making late runs into the box, Rogers offers solutions to tactical problems Chelsea faced earlier in the season. The coaching staff sees him as a player who can grow into a key role over time rather than being rushed. His physical profile suits the intensity of the Premier League, while his technical ability allows him to thrive in possession-based systems. Fans react with excitement. Chelsea fans quickly embrace the signing. Social media buzzed with highlights of Rogers' best performances, and many supporters praised the club's smart recruitment rather than chasing only high-profile names. There is a sense among the fan base that Morgan Rogers represents the kind of signing Chelsea wants to make: young, hungry, and ready to fight for the badge. A new chapter begins. As the January window closed, Morgan Rogers arrived at Cobham, ready to write the next chapter of his career. For Chelsea, the signing symbolises ambition and belief in the future. For Rogers, it is a chance to prove that he belongs on one of football's biggest stages. The journey is only beginning, but one thing is certain: Morgan Rogers to Chelsea is a transfer filled with promise, potential, and excitement. A move that could shape both player and club for years to come.